Hello and welcome to the Confidence Covered by Humility podcast. I'm your host, James Mayhew, and on this podcast, we explore what it takes to lead our businesses, our teams, and our homes with humble confidence. Now, if you haven't watched last week's episode featuring the one and only Jacob Brown, please do yourself a favor and go back and watch or listen to that episode, because Jacob is one of the most inspiring individuals you'll ever meet. And he dropped wisdom, inspiration, and this relentless optimism throughout our entire conversation. Now, I want to play a clip from that episode where Jacob talks about the clay and the mud that tries to mask our unique talents and abilities. Here it is.
We were all born precious, innocent, and valuable. But something happened along the way. Our parents started to put their own opinions on us. Our teachers started to put their own opinions on us. Bullies at school started to tell us we weren't good enough, right? Our teachers told us, you need to go into this degree. You need to go into this class. Our parents said, don't date this girl, don't date that guy. And we started to cover ourselves to protect ourselves from this hurtful world, right? We call these walls that we put up, right? We put up these walls and we're starting to live a life that we don't even recognize our own selves. We get somewhere midlife and we're like, I don't like how I feel, how I look. I've been carrying around this baggage my whole life. I look in the mirror and I don't even know who I am anymore, right? That's a rock bottom moment. Okay. Then something happens. You might go through a divorce. You might have a health scare. You might get fired from your job. You might even get into a bad car accident and a little bit of that clay falls off. A little bit of that clay falls off. Somebody comes up to you and they're like, you know what, James, there's something different about you. There's something more you should be doing. You should leave that job. You should leave that relationship. There's something more you should be doing with your life. I see a light coming from you. You have purpose. You have vision. There's something you should be doing. And a little bit more of that clay falls off. And you might even have a friend that comes and helps you start peeling away some of that clay until you get to a point in your life. You're like, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I don't care what happens. I want to live my life fully to my purpose and the way that God intended me to live. And you break free. And you discover your golden Buddha that's buried deep inside of you. Everyone here, everyone on this earth has a light that's buried inside of them. And it's our goal to get back to that child that we once were, that had goals, dreams, aspirations before the world destroyed our vision and put that fear of failure on us. Okay? So once we hit that rock bottom moment and we decide, I don't want to live like this. I don't even recognize my own self. That's the rock bottom moment that everyone might go through.
Like I said, make sure you go back and check out the full conversation with Jacob. But I want to give you 3 of my Iron Sharpens Iron moments, my own takeaways from that episode. So here's the first one. In order to fail forward, you have to try. Jacob's platform is fail forward. It's this concept that when you fail, you're still learning. And as long as you keep going, you're making progress toward your goals or your dreams. But the truth is, you won't make progress if you let fear stop you from even trying. The fear of failure will keep you on the sidelines, keep you out of the game. You have to be willing to put yourself out there and risk being embarrassed or failing. Don't forget this important lesson. You undoubtedly know that you grow the most from your setbacks, not your successes. So if there's something that you want to pursue, but you have this fear of failing, just remember to get going and you're going to fail forward. All right. My second takeaway is that all of us are carrying some type of baggage, some of that clay and mud that gets stuck on us, and it's part of our story. That's the takeaway. See, when Jacob talked about the golden Buddha, he makes a point that when you overcome self-doubt and self-imposed limitations, that it's your story. It shows others what's possible. It inspires others to believe that, hey, maybe I can do it too. And that's the connectedness of this human existence. See, other people inspire us to try the thing that we don't feel qualified for because we see the difficulty they had to go through, the resilience and the perseverance and the grit that it took. And as that clay and that mud that conceals your God-given gifts starts to chip away and you start to think different, and then you start to act different and relate different and believe different. And it's all part of your unique journey. It's all what inspires people. Now, my third takeaway is the one that actually kind of blew my mind. Meek means power under control. In business, we should be constantly growing in our meekness. That means we are leading with humble confidence. Now, Jacob actually used a Simon Sinek example about a leader who had an employee that wasn't performing for months on end. On one hand, that leader could issue, say, a 90-day probation and tell them, if you don't get your stuff together in 90 days, you're going to be fired. But he contrasted that with a leader who showed some control. And that leader then goes to the employee with this goal to listen first. What's going on? Is there something going on that I don't know about? Is there anything I can help with? See, the same power to demand improvement can be used to also mentor, guide, teach, and encourage. He went on to say that employee's performance skyrocketed over the next 30 days because they saw that their manager cared and knew that the power they could have used, they chose to do a different way. See, that's power under control. So let me ask you, is there an area in your life where fear is holding you back? Are you standing on the sidelines, maybe lacking some confidence? Hey, if we're being honest, I think most of us, all of us, we've all been there. If you're afraid to get started, remember, it's that getting started is just half the battle. Break it down into small steps that helps you get going, and then that builds momentum. Because you're going to run into a roadblock. And when you do, and you hit that roadblock or have a setback, you're not done. There's a way over it, around it, through it, over it. You just haven't found it yet. See, those are the lessons that you learn when you take Jacob's mindset and apply it in your life. I'm going to fail forward. I'm James Mayhew, and I help leaders build purpose-driven organizations that are filled with talented people who are doing excellent work on the most important things. I'm grateful that you're here, and I want to thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Confidence Covered by Humility.